Hi, I'm Devin from Careerified. Welcome back to the living room. This week, I gotta pull out a little bit of tough love. There's a certain situation that I have heard a lot about in recent years, and it really bears talking about through this particular medium. Um, when you're a parent, which hopefully you're watching this and you are one, obviously it's tough to let go of a lot of things with our kids, right? Most families start when children are quite small, not all the time, but most of the time. And so as parents, even once your kids are teenagers, you can remember times like, before they could hold up their own head, or before they knew how to use a toilet, or before they could write their name. So as they get older, I think it's understandable to realize that it might be a little bit tough to trust your kids with education and career decisions because you're still thinking, oh, remember my baby who couldn't hold up their head. I get it. Our job as parents is to get our kids to a point where they don't need us anymore. And that is certainly a tough thing to do. So I would suggest you start small and start with getting rid of this trend that I have heard so much about in the last few years. Do not accompany your child to a job interview. It's a terrible, terrible idea. Even if all you do is give little Junior a ride and wait in the lobby or the waiting area, you are sending major alarm bells up to the employer. So one thing they're thinking, I promise you, is, wow, this kid probably can't really be trusted. Like their parent didn't even trust them to get here okay on time. Or maybe it's that they can't handle pressure. They're so nervous they can't do anything on their own and they can't handle high pressure situations. That's obviously not a great impression. The other thing that you're telling the employer is that you are going to be interfering in their workplace. So those days when, Junior does something stupid on the job and has to be reprimanded or doesn't get the shift off that they needed for the family gathering because they didn't ask in time, in the back of the employer's head during the interview, they're thinking stuff like, am I going to have to be dealing with this parent? Because I don't really want to be doing that. And they don't want to go anywhere near that baggage. So suddenly you've brought your kid to this experience and this opportunity, and that employer isn't going to touch them with a 10-foot pole. These early jobs are really important for helping our kids build confidence and resilience and really any of the transferable skills they're going to be able to use in later jobs. So as much as possible, you don't want to be blowing chances for them when they're in their teenage years. Now, all that being said, I certainly can understand the stress you feel when your kid is stressed out. So absolutely, if you want to give them that moral support, or even if it's just, I don't know, maybe it's a summer camp interview and it's the middle of nowhere and they need a ride, there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to be as inconspicuous as possible. So that means parking as far away as you can while still ensuring that your kid makes it to the interview on time, and then you stay in the car. And you don't text, and you don't FaceTime, and you don't Snapchat, and you don't call, and you don't have any contact whatsoever until your child returns to your car. And you can hash out whatever you like. So this week's tip, unless you are planning on working every single shift with your child, do not ever accompany them to a job interview. I will see you next week for a new tip. You take good care.